What is up, everybody? I'm gonna do a recap here and then do the watch list for tomorrow. Notice my hat is not matching my tank top, but whatever. Who cares, right? Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna share this live out to everybody, and I'll be right with you guys. Alright, guys, give me one more second. Still sharing, getting this thing going. We have so many trade rooms now that I don't know which one to trade in or post in. Alright, give me a second here. Copy, paste. And copy, paste. There we go. Shut those alerts off. All right. Well, no one's saying anything's bad with it, so I will just roll with it. All right. So let me go over here. And guys, something pretty cool today. We heard your feedback, and I decided to forgo the trader's nap today. So I haven't slept. Poor me, right? But in return, we opened a couple new trade rooms for you guys. We opened a futures trading room for you guys over here, for those that like to trade futures. And then we also did something kind of fun, a hangout room. So for those of you guys that don't like to use social media, you want to talk, banter, have fun, you could do that in our other rooms as well. But here's kind of like a designated place people can go and kind of talk and hang out and chat. So now we have a day trading room, a swing trade room, a futures room for you guys, and a hangout room. So lots of places for you guys to talk, chat, hang out, learn from each other. Guys, if you're new, it's very important to kind of build that camaraderie, learn from other traders, because trading can be a very lonely road, very difficult road. So it's nice to have support, with people along the way. And as you can see, guys, it's very simple here. You just go up here and you can see here, just kind of open the different rooms, right over here. You can have them all open, kind of intertwined. I mute mine because I don't like the little pops, but Dan's, he likes to have all the pops on his, right? So boom, you can have this. If you're on a desktop, look at this. You can just go right from the day trade room, see what people are saying, swing trade room, go to the hangout, say hi, say what's up, and then, you know, go over to the futures room. So you can kind of just toggle right back and forth from these different screens right up top. Very simple. So guys, we're always trying to do stuff to give back and make things easier for you guys, or, you know, help with making things more fun in the learning curve, right? So let's take a look at the market today, see what happened. Again, patterns, right? Got to watch these patterns. And you can see here, the market was in a descending triangle right over here. Again, going to keep hammering these patterns home until they just like really make sense for you guys, especially if you're new. It was in a descending triangle. Price broke out of the descending triangle. You can see a basically triple bottom here as well. So that's a bullish pattern within a bigger overall bearish pattern. And then you have kind of like this cup and this handle right here. And you can see price is just trading within that handle right now, right? So it's bouncing off between the 9 and the 20 moving average lines. The market has not closed today, so we got to see what happens. But as of right now, it's still above the 9, which is good. But you want to see it break out above that 2740-ish area, continue upwards, and then keep an eye on this 2780s area for resistance. But again, gotta watch and locate these patterns. Very, very important to keep an eye on, right? So let's take a look at some of the alerts that fired off for today. I have not looked at any of these ahead of time. I don't know if they're good or bad or whatever. So I figured I'd just pick up a few and just see what happened. Groupon at or above 112.05. So let's pull up GPN. So we had the alert at or above 112.05, right? If you watched my watch list video from last night, again, you go over right over here. Go over to YouTube if you're you're watching us right now. Bullish Bears. Made the watch list video last night. It's under over here. Watch this video for last night. We sent an alert out at or above 112.05. We were mapping this out in the watch list build last night. And as you can see, what I was saying, this was setting up for a potential morning star pattern. And as of right now, it is a morning star pattern, right? So you can see 112.05. It got all the way up to 113.47 today. So what is that? 112.05. It's $1.40 something, right? So this one, if you didn't catch it in the beginning of the day, this is a 5-minute chart over here. Oops, let me go over here. This one kind of may have been a little bit difficult if you didn't catch it right in the beginning, because you had this big candle here. The pattern didn't really set up well. It came right back down, but you see there wasn't a close below the first 5-minute candle right over here. And it kind of formed this kind of U pattern right over here. This would have been a little bit trickier to trade. You would have probably had to catch it on a 1 minute when it broke. Let me see on a 1 minute. Yeah, so 1 minute, you would have probably caught it if you waited for first 3 minutes right on this little bull flag pull back right over here. Caught it up on the way up, and then it kind of reversed. So this was kind of a quicker trade. So sometimes the patterns don't give you a decent entry. You know, they kind of just move up like right here. They move up very quickly and then pull back. And then you can see over here, maybe this would have been a little difficult if I draw right up here, that 113, right? Let me go over to, yeah, so this would have been tougher. Kind of, actually 113 right over here, 22, you could have gotten in at the break of high, but then it didn't, you know, again, didn't really give you a chance. You can see here, it kind of broke out, and then it kind of broke back down. But it still has like kind of like that right here. You can draw the trend line, right? So it had like an ascending triangle right here, broke out, failed back down, but now it's failing right now. So that's not a good sign. So again, with swing trading, you got to determine when you're going to take your profits. Sometimes you get an entry, sometimes you don't. This one would have been kind of tricky if you played a 5-minute setup to get an entry. Again, that's why we say don't trade something just because an alert goes off. Gotta take a look at the patterns. Let's take a look at MLCO at or above 32.59. This one, another one, you can see we were looking for a potential breakout above yearly highs, right? And that 32.95 is resistance. What did it do this morning? It went right up and filled right below it and fell right back down, right? Went up, fell right back down. So it rejected resistance, right? Very important to pay attention to support and resistance. This had one green 5-minute candle up and pushed right back down. So that didn't do much of anything today. So now at this point, it still has to get above that 32.95. It's got this doji candle. So who the heck knows what's going to happen with this? This thing could trade still within this like ascending triangle. It might form more, you know, it's got 2 touches right over here. Still has the higher lows being formed. So who knows if it's going to trade sideways, break out, or break down. You know, got to watch these trend lines. Be very well aware of support and resistance. Z at or above 54.56. These are some of the swing trade ones. So Z at or above 54.56. This would have been potentially a good one here. So you'll see it broke out 54.56 up to 56.53. That's about a $2 or so move today. But now you got to look for a potential entry, right? You can see that 5-minute candle went up, pulled right back down. So now it had to deal with this, that long wick right here for a while, right? All the way to about 10:30. And then you can see there was like this ascending triangle, right? Broke out above here, above the top kind of this area here. All right, you can see it's kind of more back over here, but then it got above the wick here, broke out, and then you had a false breakout down, right? So it broke out, fell back down. But now you can kind of draw, you could have drawn like a trend line over here, right? Kind of in these areas here. And then you can see price kind of went down, you know, kind of still stayed above the 20 EMA, this red line. Then if you got back over here at a break above here, you can see it kind of traded down in this area, broke above again, fell back down, and then, you know, so you can, got a little bit choppy in here, but, you know, got a little bit tricky until it kind of got in this area up here. And then when it started getting up right down in like maybe this area to over here, then it started riding that 9 on the 5-minute. So it was a little bit choppy over here, you can see, but it stayed above the 20. So maybe you could have gotten in, you can see it kind of bull flagged here, held, and then maybe got in on this candle over here and rode it up. And let's see, all the way, it kind of just started riding that 9. And then when you started to see the breakdown, it started getting weak up here, right? Some warning candles, spinning top candles. It was kind of that way kind of throughout. But when you see it kind of breaking down over here, that's not a good sign. So 56.52 or 56.20, even if you got in back over here, 55.80 to 56.20. I mean, 40-cent move, not great, but you know, if you had 10 options contracts on that, that could have been, you know, $400 or so, right? So watch these patterns. This was kind of, you know, was kind of trading sloppy, or it was riding here, but you could have gotten trapped in along the way with these small little candles and stuff. So it did move up, just a little bit trickier to trade. And as you can see, it pulled back right below this upper sloping trend line, which we were saying for resistance, right? Got to keep an eye on that. Baba, we had at or above 196.80. Let's take a look at that one. So, where was that? 190. What did I say it as? 196.80, which was down right over here. So Baba, completely sloppy, right? Went up, smacked back down, just as you can see, the spinning top candle right in the handle, right? So big cup in handle. No coincidence why this is just kind of a sloppier pattern. It's trading in the middle of this handle. It's got to break out above that, kind of that $200 marker. Look at that handle. It's crazy. So hence the indecision over here. Hence very difficult to trade that. So again, going back to the charts, you always want to have a futures chart up and see what's going on. And as you can see, the market is trading in a handle within a cup and handle. So hence indecision. So this, what's going on with the markets over here also affects, you know, 4 of those bigger stocks that you see here that run with the market. This will be interesting. At or below 126.05. I put that one on for Tiffany because it was overextended. So we'll see what happened with that one today. And Tiffany, so that's interesting. It poked up a little bit, right? So it hasn't, did it trigger off yet? So Tiffany triggered, but it hasn't failed yet. So you kind of have very similar to a tweezer tops, but this could still continue up a little bit further. Still overextended, but if it starts to fail, you know, this could be a potential short down, but right now it's still kind of hanging up there, kind of in indecision mode, just kind of trading sideways a little bit today. QTNY NA at or above 1591. I'm trying to see if there was a good one today. So far, nothing really great. 1591. So this triggered, you know, you would have got maybe 20 cents on it. Don't really like that one. JNCE at or above 1160. So this one kind of just at or above 1160 went up and dumped right down today. So that didn't do much of anything. So I was looking at this Morningstar pattern and it basically failed, right? It didn't go above. It went up and then it just crashed back down. So that one didn't do much of anything. ARQL at or below 432. Let's take a look at that one. And so this one again, so this is no rhyme or reason. This one just still keeps going up. Bears are trying to push it down. It's just still not giving up yet. Still super overextended. So this one did not, you know, it went up higher today. So you could have traded this one up. Just overextended, forming kind of a spinning top candle. But, you know, with these small caps, this is running several green days. At some point, it's going to give some of it back. Just wasn't ready yet. But, you know, it's showing some indecision. So, you know, maybe in the next couple days or so, it might fail it. But as of right now, it actually went up and not down. So the short, it triggered, but it still went up. EGAN at or below 1140. So here's another one that was at resistance and it broke out. So I was looking for it to reject at resistance, but it actually broke out. And this one's holding its highs. So this one may still be continuing. Again, overextended. Short didn't, you know, I saw the resistance up here. Wanted to watch for it to pull back, but as of right now, it's not. Still overextended, and it's holding its highs. So this may continue up. Again, you know, it's, you got to watch these and see if something triggers. You can see the alert did not trigger off on this one. It just continued, right? That's why sometimes they go off, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the patterns are good, sometimes they're not. So far, they've sucked. Not really good. HEAR. Let's take a look at that one. HEAR. At or above. So here we had at or above 1734. It triggered. So this one actually did something, right? So at or above 1734, which is this orange line right here, the previous day's close. You'll see at the beginning of the day it sold off, came back up. You can see a 9 and a 20 crossover, and then price closed right here above the previous close on right here. So you could have taken a entry above here, or if you wanted to be safer, let's say above the high of day here, 1744. So you see sold off, kind of a V bottom right up here. And you could have taken this, you know, at that point, it's getting a little bit hairy up at the patterns right here. So you could have taken that 1744, day traded it when you saw this close like this. You know, you could have taken your profits here. That's, you know, maybe about 40 cents. Or you could have waited for a close below, you know, the 9 over here. Again, you can see when you see something like this, this is very, got to be careful, right? You know, this is telling you watch out. And you can see it did hold the 9 over here. So you could have risked it, waited for it to continue upwards, and waited up to here to close if you wanted to, get a little bit more profits. But when you start seeing this wick like this being pushed down, you know, you got to be careful. So this one did go up. You could have traded it. You can made a good scalp on it. But, you know, watching these areas for taking profit, right? When it pulled back down over here, you had kind of a bull flag over here that you could have maybe gotten in back in here above 1791 again after it kind of pulled back. And then, you know, got hairy. So you would have made some money up here, but you would have had to take profits. That's why we tell people don't get too greedy. And again, when you're seeing this pattern over here and what's being played out, it's reflective over here in this daily chart. Price broke out of the symmetrical triangle, broke out, and then it kind of started failing back. And as you can see, now it's forming this doji candle here. So it broke out, retested. Now it's in that indecision mood. And so you got to watch and see what happens. We'll take a look at one more, and then I'll probably stop the video and do the watch list for tomorrow. Let's see if there's a decent one. At or above 468. Gurn. So, Gurn. At or above 468. Really quick. Big 5-minute candle up here. You could have played it really quickly, and then it just broke down, formed a double top right here. Top here, failure. If you played it on a 1 minute, let's see if you could have gotten an entry. Potentially quick right here. FU pattern. Put your middle finger there, your knuckles right up against the screen. There you go. FU pattern happens all the time. Went up, pulled back down. You could have waited maybe for a confirmation candle here, gotten into the break maybe above here, 487. When you started to see it do this, sold 487 to 504. There you go, not bad. You know, maybe a 20-cent scalp. So wouldn't have traded these two candles right here. On the third, you can see it hold. Maybe gotten in above this one, 487, risking, you know, this 9 EMA as a stop. So it's not bad. 487 down to 483. It's tight risk management. And obviously when you see this right up here, those wicks and those indecision candles, sell and get out. And as you can see, boom, dumped right back down. This is where you got to trade the hotkeys on the 1 minute chart. So on a 5 minute, you probably didn't. Let me see here. The 5 minute would have been tough to trade this. One big 5 minute candle broke up and then broke back down. But as you can see over here, there still was not a close below that 5 minute candle over here. It touched over here, but went right back up, right? Double top. Top here, fell back down. Let me see. So actually, technically, there hasn't been a close below that 5 minute candle. You know, but as you can see, the patterns weren't really great today, guys. You know, if you're trying to play a 5 minute chart, not really great. If you played the 1 minute, you could have gotten some scalps. So again, determines what, you know, got to determine what type of trader you are. But you got to see, again, you know, when the market is trading in a handle of a cup and handle, it's going to create that indecision, right? So that's kind of a recap, guys, for you for today. Cup and handle, you got the handle going here. Price still bouncing at these kind of these hammer candles right above the 9 and the 20. So at this point, you want to see the price break out of that 27.80 or 40 area and continue upwards. Got to watch and see what happens. So I'm going to end this stream right here, and I'll be back probably in about 5 or 10 minutes or so, and we will build the watch list for tomorrow. But in the meantime, guys, make sure, if you haven't already, you know, make sure you're aware of our futures room, our hangout room now, and our other rooms. We just opened up the hangout in the futures room, so do your thing, guys. And yeah, So lots more content coming back for you guys. And if you're not a subscriber yet, you can subscribe over here for $10 a month. So see you guys in a few minutes, and we'll talk soon.